Indiana Fever preseason has officially come, and it has officially gone.
The Indiana Fever did finish the WNBA preseason undefeated.
If there was one unspoken truth during last season's WNBA run, it's this. Caitlin Clark took some of the most brutal, downright dirty hits we've ever seen on a hardwood floor. Despite giving the league a record-breaking rookie campaign, it felt like Clark had a target on her back. And after witnessing that chaos, many believe the WNBA would have learned its lesson: protect the face of the league at all costs. But here we are again, new season, same old story. Same. Camera 2, 2 games in, 1 more to go. The Indiana Fever rolls into Atlanta, set to clash with a blazing hot Dream Squad in their final preseason showdown deep in Peachtree Country. And right out of the gate, Kelsey Mitchell finds Natasha Howard diving toward the rim, who gracefully pivots and flips in a soft-touch hook shot. Then it's Mitchell herself making magic, selling the fake handoff so well the defender bit hard, leaving her a clear lane to the cup. Meanwhile, Queen Egbo secures the rebound and decides she's not passing, coast to coast with a full head of steam, leaving defenders in the dust. But Atlanta's 8th overall pick, Tina Paopao, answers back with fire. 2 fearless drives straight into the heart of the defense to keep things even at 11 all. Just like that, we had a battle brewing, fast-paced, physical, and feisty. Moments later, the Fever struck back, an N1 bucket off a slick Clark to Boston connection. And then it happened. Caitlin Clark dropped her signature triple right in Maya Caldwell's face from the top of the arc. The crowd buzzed. The tone was set. After a back-and-forth 12 minutes, the Fever clung to a 21-16 lead heading into the second. And just 15 seconds into the new frame, Caitlin made it clear she wasn't done, draining another deep bomb to open the quarter. She followed that up with a laser-sharp bounce pass to a cutting Sophie Cunningham, threading the needle for the easy 2. Oh, and it didn't stop there. Caitlin got spicy. Behind-the-back dribble, head fake, cross-court vision, she was cooking. But Paopao wasn't letting the Fever run away with it. She fired back with a deep 3, shrinking the lead again. Then it was Sophie's turn, splashing a smooth jumper to keep the dream in check. But just as Indiana began building momentum, the whistle came. Caitlin Clark hit with her first technical of the season. It was a questionable call, but it lit a fire under her. Channeling that frustration, Clark responded the only way she knows how, with a nasty step-back 3 that silenced the crowd. But Paopao wasn't done either. She returned the favor with a filthy crossover that had Caitlin sliding, rocking the arena in the process. Still, despite the momentary swing, the Fever closed the half strong, stringing together key buckets to take a 42-40 lead into the break. Then disaster struck. Just when things started looking up for Indiana, Sophie Cunningham went down. While fighting for a rebound, she landed awkwardly after stepping on a Dream player's foot and twisted her ankle badly. The entire arena held its breath. Thankfully, Coach Christy Sides gave an optimistic update. It's not serious, and Sophie should be good to go by opening night. With the scare behind them, the Fever got back to work. Caitlin Clark slashed through the defense, muscling in a tough finish with Alicia Gray draped all over her. Then she threaded another beauty, a needle pass to a rolling Aaliyah Boston, who floated it in with ease. Meanwhile, Paopao continued her all-gas no-breaks attack, fueling Atlanta's tempo just like she did in the opening quarter. But Indiana wasn't done showing off. Kelsey Mitchell hit Alicia Gray with a wicked crossover, made her dance, then banked it in, smooth, silky, deadly. With the Fever threatening to break the game open midway through the third, the big and powerful Brianna Jones went to work. Back-to-back bruising finishes in the paint, a double whopper served hot, keeping Atlanta within reach. After that bruising inside sequence, both squads traded heavy fire from deep. Kelsey Mitchell fired off a smooth corner triple, but Atlanta's Ryan Howard fired right back with a tough running 3 of her own. Now, with 3 minutes left in the third and Indiana clinging to a 2-point lead, Caitlin Clark went full throttle, slicing into the paint, when out of nowhere Ryan Howard came crashing down with a blatant hack to Clark's face. And as Caitlin lay on the hardwood, Howard hovered over her like it was personal. But get this, despite how obvious that foul was, and even with DB catching contact in the follow-up, the refs stood there like statues. Not a single whistle, like it never even happened. Still, Indiana didn't flinch. They bottled up their frustration and turned it into fire. On the very next sequence, Caitlin Clark uncorked a full-court missile to DB, who took it all the way for a highlight touchdown finish. A quarterback pass that had the whole gym buzzing. By the time the third quarter buzzer rang, the Fever were still in control, leading 63-59, and with Coach Christy Sides opting to rest her main stars down the stretch, it was time for an unexpected hero to rise. And that's exactly when Lexie Hull stepped up and took over. Right out the gate in the fourth, Lexie drew in multiple defenders before zipping a dime to Timpson on the backdoor cut. Textbook execution. You've seen her working on that in practice, and now it was translating under pressure. Then came the real show. Lexie dialed it in from 15 feet, hitting a smooth mid-range jumper, before slicing through the defense on a fearless drive straight to the rack. Boom, and one. Lexie Hull, out here running the offense like a seasoned vet. Then came the dagger. Jaylen Brown, no, not that Jaylen Brown, but one of Atlanta's own, hit a big 3 to try and slow the Fever's roll. But even that wasn't enough, because the real nightmare for the Dream, Lexie Hull, wasn't done yet. Off a clean pin-down screen, Lexie popped out and sank a gorgeous mid-range J, unfazed by the pressure. Then, as if to completely seal the deal, she knifed her way through the entire Atlanta defense and finished through contact. But she didn't stop there. Next play, she calmly walked into another foul line jumper and nailed it like she was in her backyard. With time winding down and the energy surging, the Fever held their ground. After a full 40 minutes of grit and grind, the Indiana Fever came out on top, taking down the Atlanta Dream 81-76. And the MVP of the night? No question, it was Lexie Hull. She went nuclear in the fourth quarter, dropping 11 of her 14 total points in the final period, while also pulling down 5 boards and dishing out 4 assists in a complete all-around showcase. Caitlin Clark? She lit it up from deep, drilling 3 triples en route to 13 points while also stacking up 7 dimes and 6 rebounds for another near triple-double performance. And after the game, the vibe was pure energy. That final buzzer marked the end of Indiana's undefeated preseason campaign. And both the eye test and the stat sheet tell the same story. This Fever squad is building something real. Chemistry is brewing. The ball movement, the player movement, it's crisp, it's connected. And check this, 3 different games, 3 different scoring leaders, 3 different rebounding leaders. That's depth, that's trust. Now all eyes turn to opening night, just 1 week away, and you already know it's about to get spicy. Caitlin Clark versus her old college rival Angel Reese. Indiana versus Chicago, the Fever versus the Sky. We're talking fireworks, we're talking animosity. We're talking can't miss basketball. So until next time, I'm out of here. Catch you on the next game recap. Peace. Caitlin Clark is launching missiles from distances that should practically be illegal. Seriously. She's torching the court like she's got a cheat code, while Lexie Hull, she's becoming Indiana's not-so-hidden dagger in the fourth quarter. The Indiana Fever just closed out their preseason with a clean sweep, 3-0. First, they handled the Mystics, then they dismantled Brazil's national team, and today they sealed the deal with a dramatic victory over the Atlanta Dream. But don't let the record fool you. This wasn't some cakewalk. There were injury scares, unexpected twists, and even a few eyebrow-raising comments from the Dream's camp. Even when the Fever aren't firing on all cylinders, they've still got that it factor, that overwhelming offensive firepower that makes you feel like they're gonna steamroll opponents once they click. This team is deep. They've got multiple weapons, and any one of them can torch you. And just so you know, Dana Bonner didn't even start this one. Sophie Cunningham took her place in the lineup. That's how stacked this squad is. But here's the kicker. Caitlin Clark almost didn't suit up at all. Less than 24 hours before tip-off, Fever fans were glued to their phones, refreshing Twitter and checking every update. Panic spread fast. In the team's final practice, Clark collided with a practice player, re-injuring the same leg she'd previously strained. It looked innocent at first, just a routine drill. But suddenly she pulled up, slowed down. You could see the discomfort. Instantly, the Fever medical staff was on high alert, rushing over to evaluate the team's rising star. The Fever were 2 wins in, no losses, and now their franchise player was sitting on the sideline with an ice pack and a grimace. Social media went nuclear. Was this the start of a nightmare? Was the pressure of the pros already taking its toll? Would she miss the finale, or worse, miss opening night? The speculation hit fever pitch. Then came the moment everyone was praying for. Clark was cleared. Not only would she play, she'd start. What began as a near disaster turned into a sigh of relief across the Fever fan base. Clark addressed the situation with poise. Once the game tipped off,